This is it. Okay, say the she say in jail with me. Come now, 2024 what? I don't have it. Kizomana. I just. Yeah, man. 2024 what?
Okay.
Mami Dele. Mami Dele. Abeg come. 1 minute. Second story, which one? I already have first story on my phone. So which one is the second story? The Ember months are here, characterized by heavy road traffic as Nigerians travel for family reunions, festivals, ceremonies, and lots more. Unfortunately, this period also sees increased congestion, reckless driving, and road crashes, leading to devastating loss of lives and properties. Ensuring safety for road users this Ember month is our focus for Saturday Discuss tonight. And we have in the studio a guest who will talk extensively on this important topic. We will meet him shortly, but before then, let's set the ball rolling with major stories making the round this moment. My name is Tessie Omiri, your anchor. You're welcome. And we begin with the trending news talking about the Ondo governorship election. Some voters in Ondo State have commended the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for ensuring a smooth and transparent governorship election across the state. Our correspondent reports that the enthusiasm of the people over the exercise was visible in the areas visited. Details of this will come your way in our subsequent bulletin or in our bulletin at 9. Now, setting the pace for the implementation of policies and laws that protect the populace and enhance better border management and legal migration of people within and outside the country was center of discussion at the 2024 Law and Policy Conference. Cecilia Julius reports that the Nigerian Immigration Lawyers Association called for improved measures to stem insecurity.
The two-day annual conference with the theme New Realities in the Nigeria Immigration Law and Policy Stratosphere sought to address the challenges in the immigration sector of the nation and profiling solutions call for establishment of laws and policies that protect the citizens and create avenues for competitiveness that will boost economic growth.
Today, immigration is a reality. People will want to leave their country and go to other countries. People will also want to come to Nigeria, to work or to live as spouses of Nigerians and for other reasons. So we need to be at the top of our game.
And even after they travel, it will also help them in deciding which aspects, which area they fit into, instead of relying and falling back on the host country government where they find themselves for sustenance and for their daily bread.
We have robust laws when it comes to immigration. However, because of the dynamic nature of the world itself, there's always need to amend the laws to reflect the reality of the time.
Identifying better ways to improve immigration of the country, they advocate for effective custom facilities, interagency cooperation and collaboration in strengthening every boundary and border points as measures required to checkmate rise in terrorist activities, which will in turn create avenues for increased trade and investment.
There is need for a kind of shift between the conventional border management and the digital surveillance strategy. And I think no amount is much for government to spend in securing our national borders.
I think the government should sit back, should sit down to ensure that there is infrastructural development in order to ensure that we go the way of technology in order to nip all these lapses in the board.
Awards presentation were made to deserving personalities for their contributions to the success of the occasion, while encouraging more legal partners to join the team. In Abuja, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, through the Education Secretariat, has received 22,307 mopped out of school children from the National Commission for Almajiri and Out of School Children, that is the education in Abuja. Onozi Yakubu was there and brought back this report.
These 22,307 out of school children were mopped out across the 6 area councils of the territory by the marshals of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out of School Children Education. They are to be integrated into schools under the FCT Back to School initiative.
Mr. President has passion for marching his way to action. He directed us to mop out 10 million Nigerians, or it has just started. In the next few months, you will begin to see us across the 36 states mopping out of school children back to school.
FCT Secretary for Education, Alami Hayu, says FCT is committed to ensuring that every child, irrespective of status, is provided with the tools and opportunities to thrive in an inclusive learning environment.
The Back to School initiative is one such element intervention designed to provide pathway for children who might otherwise miss out on the benefit of structured education. The support extended by the FCT administration toward this initiative highlight our education to equitable education. Through initiatives like these, we aim to close educational gaps and break the cycle of exclusion that too often affect children from underserved communities.
The Commission says this is the pilot scheme which will be replicated in all the states of the Federation. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
And still talking education, in every nation, teachers are the bedrock upon which society's future is built. Hence, by improving educators' capacity, the authority is investing in the future of children and, by extension, the nation. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike reiterates this at the closing ceremony of training program for basic education teachers in the FCT. Mariam George Jitubo has details.
The
training sessions were structured around 10 comprehensive modules that focuses on practical strategies to enhance classroom management, integrate technology into teaching, foster professional development, among others. FCT Minister represented by the Mandate Secretary, FCT Education Secretariat, Lami Hayu, says the knowledge, skills and values teachers impact on students today will drive tomorrow's Nigerian workforce.
By nurturing their students intellectually, creative and social skills, they help shape not just individual features, but the collective future of the nation.
Director FCT Education Resource Center, Nima Dawood Abdurrahim, appreciated the facilitators for sharing their wealth of knowledge with the teachers, which she says will promote engaging learning environment.
As we move forward, let us continue to collaborate and support one another in our shared mission to enhance education in the FCT.
We were able to get them to teach them strategies to help them not on something that was not realistic, but on something that was very realistic.
Awards were presented to educators that are contributing immensely to the success of the education sector. The theme of the training is redefining the future of education, the role of teachers in economic development. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC FCT Sector Commander Chori Mutar has launched the 2024 Ember Month Sensitization Campaign with a crucial theme, Speak Up Against Dangerous Driving. Asabe Williams brings us details.
Considering the surge in road travels during the Ember months for commercial and festive purposes, which unfortunately has been linked to numerous road crashes, resulting in loss of lives and properties, this campaign has been considered as timely.
The task of ensuring a safer motoring environment in Nigeria is a crucial and collective responsibility. Relevant stakeholders in road transportation sector are invited to work together with the Corps to address road carnage.
As part of the campaign, Mutar emphasized the importance of passengers picking out when they find themselves in vehicles. He urged passengers to take an active role in ensuring their safety by reporting or speaking up against reckless driving. In the meantime, the FRSC has also called on stakeholders in the transportation sector to collaborate in promoting road safety. This partnership, the command says, is vital in curbing the alarming rate of road crashes during the Ember months. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
Many thanks, Asabe Williams, for that background report. To usher in our guests, you remember I told you earlier we are discussing this all-important topic because it's Ember month and we know how it is on the highway. Busy, people traveling for different purposes, especially as it is festive season. And to dwell more on this all-important topic, I have with me here on Saturday, discuss tonight, the Area Commander, Central Business District of the FRSC, Imran Ibrahim Lamba. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah. Okay, you recently launched a campaign on Speak Up Against Dangerous Driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, during campaigns we have other topics, but this particular season you're talking about dangerous driving.
Exactly.
Why shift attention to drivers?
Yeah, the issue is like it used to be at all the time. We always talk to drivers. We go to motor parks when the Ember month kick started to talk to drivers. Don't do this, don't do that. This is what you should do. Avoid driving under influence of substances, avoid overspeeding, avoid dangerous driving. Now, the present Corps Marshal, Sheikh Mohammed, brought a new concept entirely, that is driver one person versus the passenger. Some vehicles 4, 6, 8, 18, 40 something and above. That we should now engage the passengers as the main stakeholders to ensure safety on Nigeria roads. And that is why this year Ember Month was flagged up by the Corps Marshal Sheikh Mohammed MNI on the 30th of October with the theme, Speak Up Against Dangerous Driving. Road traffic crashes kills more passengers than the drivers. So this year's Ember Month is more on the passengers to be involved in ensuring safety on our Nigerian roads. The sector commander, Sisi Chori Muta, has also flagged off his own Ember Month campaign in the FCT, and the same theme, speak up against dangerous drivers.
Okay, so now you mentioned something about some factors responsible,
Yeah.
like alcohol intake, some excessive speeding,
Exactly.
so not necessary,
Yeah.
because you always get to your destination whether you go fast or slow.
Exactly.
Overloading and other factors.
Yeah.
So what is your command doing to checkmate this excess?
By the instructions of the headquarters, we had to involve in 5 things, then additional 4. The 5 things are: number 1, we should do what we call press conferences. All the sector commanders and the FCT sector commander are to do press conference to inform Nigerians on the theme for this year Ember Month. We should do a motorcade rally, distribution of flyers, sensitizing people, meeting them on the road, and the rest. Number 3, to do mega town hall meeting, which our sector commander has done his own. Then to establish what we call a rest area for drivers, because Ember Month is characterized with long journey, and then the loading based advocacy. Now, all these things put together, what we are going to be involved more in is 3. Number 1, public education and sensitization of especially the passengers and other road users. Number 2, aggressive enforcement. And then number 3, traffic control to ensure there is free flow of traffic. So my command and the sector command, what we are doing is to ensure that during this period, there is free flow of traffic for commuters. Number 2, that accidents or road traffic crashes are reduced to the bare minimum. Like when you look at our 2024 strategic goal, we have 5% reduction in fatalities. That is our target, and that is what we are going to work through. And then the issue of the advocacy, sensitization, public education, town hall meetings, stakeholder engagements, to ensure that the people that are involved in road traffic engagements are safe and are aware, because it's their right, that the drivers are infringing on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, this recent study revealed that there's some impression-induced crashes.
Yeah.
So what is the right state of mind that a driver should be in before, you're applying the highway?
I always say this is whenever we have an opportunity to talk to people. For you to be on steering, you have to be economically, psychologically, physically, mentally, emotionally suitable, fit to be on the road. The economy is biting hard. People are driving on the steering with a lot of economic burdens, expectations, family issues, office issues, and what have you. So what we are trying to tell people during this period is, before you embark on a journey, apart from ensuring your vehicle is sound, roadworthy, you have to ensure you as a person, you are also sound. Because for you to carry people and be on the road, you have passengers in your vehicle, you have other road users, the pedestrians, the motorcyclists, the cyclists, the cyclists, and what have you, even the animals, all are on the route. Now, for you to drive defensively, that's what you call defensive driving, a driving that define only you as sensible on the road to avoid danger or to avoid crash or being crashed into. You have to be emotionally sound. So issues that are involved or induced to cause traffic issues on the road, number 1, has to do with driving under influence. So people are driving under influence of alcohol, some under the influence of substance. Let me say this by research. We realize this year the Ember Month is characterized with a lot of troubles. And when there is a lot of troubles, that is lot of vehicular movement on the road. But this period, the pump price is high. So that means majority of people are going to involve in commercial vehicles. They not travel with their vehicles. So we are expecting 3 things. Number 1, we are expecting that we are going to see more of overloading on Nigerian roads. And overloading is causing trouble because many people will prepare to use commercial vehicle to travel. So we are expecting overloading.
Which means we are going to have more passengers on the road.
More passengers on the road, less vehicles. And when you have more passengers on the road, 3 things will happen. Number 1, overloading. Number 2, speeding, excessive speeding. Because the commercial vehicles now observe there are a lot of passengers. Let me drop quick and come back. So that I maximize income. And then number three, there is tendencies for dangerous driving. So we are talking to passengers, especially the commuters. They should not allow drivers to overload them in the vehicles. You are paying for a seat. That seat you have paid for it is your own seat. There is no way a driver will now come and add another person. It's charging you, you have paid, and then it's using your same seat that belongs to you for that period of the contract to also extort you by bringing another person. And overloading has consequences. It has consequences on the tire because every tire has a weight it carries. When you overload the vehicle, there may be tendency that there's going to be a tire blown out. Number three, stability of the vehicle because the vehicle is overloaded. The weight it's supposed to carry is beyond. So the steering and the rest, you may not have a soft driving. And then number three, the comfort of the driver and the passengers are all being altered. So they may cause for traffic.
This research or findings you have done is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
The fact that pump price is high, it means that so many cars will be at home.
Exactly.
Then we have more passengers. Then the theme for this year's campaign, you're focusing solely on the driver. You know, one will not really think of when you said if we have road crashes, more passengers die than the drivers,
exactly.
which means that the driver should be the focus area of attention. So in this area, what advice do you have for them? You know, the passengers are major stakeholders.
Exactly.
Sometimes they overlook some things and then they close their eyes some things. The need for emphasis.
Even sometimes the same passengers are the one that are causing the driver to speed. They are causing the driver to drive dangerously. Because I know there are passengers that will be telling the driver, we are in a hurry. Please drive and what have you. Some altered his emotion by the way they talk to him. Our focus is more on the passengers. And I want to tell the passengers to understand that it is you, all of you, against a driver. And that driver is there to render you a services. A services of taking you to their destination safely without any problem. So if you allow him, it's either going to kill you, one, or going to cause you major injury or a scar, or even an agony to live with. A kind of a trauma. Because anybody involved in traffic crashes, they live with that kind of trauma.
So talking about being in a hurry, we are also in a hurry here in the studio. I wish we can go on with the discussion, but I want to believe that our viewers have learned one or two things from the discussion. Thank you so much, Ibrahim Imran, for coming on the program and for the sensitization. We're hoping that we'll have a beautiful wheeltight season.
By His grace. I just have one message for the drivers and for everybody. Number one, only the living celebrate. This is a season of celebration. Xmas and what have you. Only people should remember, only the living celebrate.
Thank you.
So don't allow passengers drivers to kill you on the road.
Thank you so much. Only the living celebrates. Let's move to health. As the global community marks World Diabetes Day, the need to raise awareness on the physical and mental health of people living with diabetes is considered crucial. To this end, the Diabetes Health and Enlightenment Organization, in collaboration with the Network for Persons Living with Diabetes, conducted a sensitization and fitness exercise. Rosemary Bilal has more.
Diabetes, according to research, is being considered one of the deadliest diseases, attracting concerns at both governmental and international organizational levels. To help in combating this, Aisha Bukar Ali, founder and coordinator of the Diabetes Health and Enlightenment Organization, a non-governmental organization, joined the rest of the world in marking World Diabetes Day through sensitization and health fitness exercises.
We know that diabetes now is almost an epidemic at our doorstep because in every family you find one person or the other, either the parent or a sibling that is diabetic, and it has been rising at an alarming rate in the country.
Know your numbers is the blood sugar and the blood pressure. So government is concerned, that's why it wants to establish the database so that there will be a policy and a plan to have a register of diabetic people living with diabetes in Nigeria so that we cater for them.
Concerned persons, people living with diabetes and beneficiaries praise the initiative.
Diabetes is killing people more than even malaria and other diseases combined.
The theme of this year is talking about the well-being of people living with diabetes, and we want to see how we can provide care.
The theme for this year underscores the serious practical steps to mitigate the element, especially with global focus this Thursday with the commemoration of World Diabetes Day. Rosemary Moltelen Bilal, NTA News.
Inspiring a generation of transformation leaders through deliberate efforts that will instill qualities of a good leader in the younger generation has been the visionary objectives and cardinal principle of the Bridge Leadership Foundation for 11 years. Founder of the mentoring organization and former governor of Cross River State, Senator Liali Moki, during the 2024 Emerging Political Leadership Fellow graduation, says this was to help provide leadership direction towards addressing the leadership question in the country. Abdullahi Ajia brings us details.
It was a night of celebration and the closing phase of a 6 months rigorous training as well as a lifetime achievement for 25 graduates of the Emerging Political Leadership Fellowship of the Bridge Leadership Foundation. The interactions and expression during the graduation and awards further solidify the overall objectives of the foundation to equip and guide young people with necessary values needed to change leadership narratives.
The foundation is working with young people, trying to get them to understand and appreciate that leaders are not born, leaders are made. And
we apologize for that abrupt stoppage of that report. Knowing the importance of sports, the FCT Education Resource Center engaged its staff in different sporting activities, all in a bid to keep fit. Mariam George Jitubu has details.
After competing in different sporting activities, the staff of FCT Education Resource Center embarked on this roadwork exercise, which climaxes activities for the event that commenced 3 weeks ago. The Permanent Secretary, FCT Education Secretariat, Joy Okeke, says this initiative is worthy of emulation because it will energize as well as keep the staff alert.
I can see the spirit of unity, oneness in Education Resource Center. As you can see, the joy in the workout and coming back together to celebrate.
Director FCT Education Resource Center, Nima Dawood Abdurrahim, reaffirms that since the inception of the exercise 3 years ago, the exercise has been very rewarding.
Most of our staff are now conscious of the fact that exercising the body will also bring about effective delivery of their duty.
At the end of the event, Blue House, known as Samaila A. Tiga House, came third position. Brown House, known as Emmanuel O. Aino House, second. While Purple House, known as Mrs. Alu Rebecca Ugandan House, emerged winner. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
And it is on that champion's note we conclude today's edition of Saturday Discuss. Thank you for being part of the program. See you next week. Good night.